But Facebook funnels and fans. Facebook and funnels will be more tomorrow because a lot of us, we start from these two places first and we forget how to reverse engineer everything. You have to start with your fans, who you are, what you stand for, what you stand against, what your message is, what's your language, all that fun stuff, because if you don't figure that out, all that Facebook stuff, all those funnels will not work. Yes, you can copy and paste, it will work for a little bit, but eventually your market's gonna see right through it, being like, everyone does this. Are you the same 6-week down the program or down the block? Are you the same 12-week over here? I heard this guy doing the same thing as well. So you have to start from the fans aspect. So just to show of hands, how many people are actually actively using Facebook advertising, paid advertising? Cool, everyone, awesome. How many people are actually building out funnels themselves actively? So. Do you guys hire, Mike, do you guys hire out for all that too? What about you, Tatiana? Hire out for that too? Awesome. So we're gonna talk about fans. So the craziest part is that we're kind of like the best kept secret in our industry. Have you guys ever had anyone say like, oh, like, Lindsay, I love you guys, but like, I don't want to tell my friends about this program? Or,
you don't want to
yeah. You ever had that before or no? Because we get that a lot up here.
No, not really.
Okay. It's weird about the North Shore. People kind of want to be kept private about like what they're doing, if they're losing weight and stuff like that too as well. And what happens is that we're not out in the market enough to have people know us. I love it when people come up to Roz and I'd be like, hey, I know who you are, or hey, Roz, I saw that video, or hey, Mr. Nutrition. I'm like, no, my name's Greg, but cool that you call me by the label. But at the same time, it's also kind of humbling when people say like, I've never heard of you guys. Really? Like with all the videos that we do, you've never heard of it? You know, so you want to come from that place of that you are the best kept secret and you want to get yourself out there. So if you're not out there enough, you got to keep pushing because there's a lot of noise. So some obstacles is that everything is harder and slower when you have a small list, whether it's from an email size, whether it's from Facebook Live views, whether it's from how many likes, how many engaged you get and stuff like that. It becomes a lot harder. So if you're a good marketer and you have a small list, you'll get some pretty decent results. But imagine if you were able to amplify that and if your list went from 4,000 to 15,000. If you're still just an average or good marketer, you'll get some crazy results. What happens is that you're stuck playing small. You can't get out of the mind of like, why can't I get my message out there? How come people aren't buying from me? What's going on? Is it me? Is it the program? Do they not like me? What's going on? What's my imaging? And what Roz talks about a lot is that you stall and you burn out. So now, if we play honest, who here in their business has ever felt burnout? Who here has ever said to themselves, like, do I really want to do this anymore? Cool. So that's a big, big issue in this industry, and it's something that we have to recognize. And those who are willing to put the work in, to put the grind in, and to kind of eat the shit, like we say, you'll come out the end victorious. In a sense, as much as introvert as I am, we all kind of want to be a little bit web famous. It's kind of cool when people call you by your name or like, your label and stuff. It's kind of cool when people call you out or tag you, like, oh, my coach can help you out. And you also want to have that limitless speed. Has anyone ever seen that movie Limitless, where the guy takes the pill and his productivity just shoots through the roof? So that's where we want to get to. So just write down for you, what are the top 3 reasons why you guys want to build your audience? Like, what does an audience mean to you? What are your top 3 reasons? So just take 30 seconds, kind of jot down a few things. Awesome. So who wants to share? Like, so Nick, go ahead. What's your top 3 reasons why you want to build an audience? What does it mean to you?
Reach more people, and more people know what you do, and more people get helped out of that. And also the other thing, because that's the thing I struggle with, is having a very small audience, and it's been keeping me afloat. I have an email list of less than 300 people, and it's keeping me afloat when I put out offers and stuff. So I know if I had a much bigger audience, I would do 10 times better.
Awesome.
It's just a matter of trying to refine building that audience.
Yep. What's one thing you think you could do to build it from 300 to 600?
That's part of this weekend is really diving deeper on my avatar and my client, my niche.
Yep.
Because I've been just trying to speak to everyone, and it's helping no one.
Yep.
So I have to dive a lot deeper with my story, what I went through, and connect with other people on that type of level.
Absolutely. Awesome. We're going to talk about a quick little post that we did just recently. Did everyone see this post when Roz bought his first car? It's actually not his. He had to return it. So we did this as we're very humble people. We do things strategically, and we also do things authentically and honestly. So we did this not to put up bragging posts or anything like that, because Roz it really meant a lot to him to get that car. You guys read the whole post, and I'll read it to you as well as again. But we wanted to do a little experiment and see what would be the draw. You know, why do people draw so much success with a car? So when we did it, we got about, as of probably this morning, 572 likes and 218 comments of just pure love. Like, dude, loved your message. It was so inspiring. I'm gonna read this to my kids. You know, the fact that, you know, your story, and you've been doing this for 10 years. So that's the thing. When building up fans, it's not about, you know, I put up a post and how come no one liked it? It was so great. It's because you don't have enough skin in the game. You don't have enough consistency. I don't think you've missed a post for, what, 10 years now? You know, I'm very sporadic, but you've been on point. So when you put out that kind of message, it grabs a lot of people, and then it's just going to keep on going and going and going to eventually, we're going to turn this into an ad just so we can see what the reach is from the consulting side. Again, so it's not from bragging or saying like, yeah, you can be rich too, you can have this beautiful car. It's, here's the shit I had to eat, here's the man I had to become in order to get this piece over here. It's not really the material, it's the things I had to do to become this man in order to have this. So it got a little chunked off, but has everyone read this whole thing about like where Roz came from and what it meant to him to get the car and stuff like that too? So at the end, this was not an ad, it was an organic post. People saw the love for it, they liked it, they commented on it. What we're gonna do at the end is, you know, saying much love and go out there and earn yours, you deserve it. Underneath, if I can be of any assistance or help you grow in your fitness business to get your next dream car, PM me below, Benz, or hit me up over on here and we'll go on the strategy call. Just to see, will that organic feel of an ad make people not make it feel like it's an ad? Because when we see, I know Samir, we gave you like the whole 12-week transformation on the actual ad. It works, but at the same time, how do we get that feel to go away from, as soon as you see a 12-week ad, you're like, fuck, I don't want to click this. But if it's just a dude standing in front of a car, it's kind of intriguing. Like, why is this guy pointing to a Honda and a Benz? What's going on? So it's kind of an appeal. So the 5 principles. So we'll pick on Roz a little bit. We'll go over the attractive character. So we want to create a culture, not a crowd. I know Russell Brunson kind of coined this, so it's kind of cool. I like it. Because again, as soon as I saw your shirt, and you were wearing it too as well, it's an instant connection. Like, dude, I understand where you're coming from. I know the message he's all about. So let's connect. Let's talk about ClickFunnels. So Roz, the attractive character, let's just go through this a little bit. And then Billy, this will help you out too as well, is we have to know who we are before we know who we're going to serve. So a lot of times they start out like, who's my avatar? Okay, great. I want to work out with a woman who's between 35 and 45, and she's going through menopause. She has 3 kids, yada, yada. But why? Because there's money in it. Okay, cool. But that doesn't serve you. So you have to know who you are, what you want to be, and then after that, you kind of pick out who your attractive audience or your ideal audience is from there. So Roz, the first element is your backstory. So real quick, for personal trainers who want to build their business, what's like a 30-second backstory of your attractive character?
So a quick 30-second is, I'm the guy that's real, raw, and relevant. I keep it real. I don't bullshit you, so I'm not a guru. So I'm connecting with people who don't want to be in that space of, oh, look at me, look what I've done, how cool am I? My goal is, hey, I connect. I still own a personal training studio. I still coach clients. But I also can teach you how to create a lifestyle fitness business, because that's what I've been able to do over the last 10 years.
Awesome. So with that whole aspect of lifestyle fitness business, what are your flaws as a character?
So one of my flaws as a character is that, like I shared earlier, I'm a little fiery. So at times I get a hot temper, and that comes from possibly family, things like that. But I've learned to actually share that and say, hey, I'm the coach that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So I took a flaw and turned it into a positive attribute.
Awesome. So now what's your polarity? What do you stand so
Boom!
strongly? And what do you stand against?
I stand against people who are basically taking advantage of people because they feel that this is an opportunity. So one of the things is I'm not about just going to a market just because. For 3 years, I was the menopause expert. I wrote a book, did a whole big summit about it, and then I closed it down. A 6-figure business because I just didn't connect with it anymore. It wasn't who I was. It wasn't the person I wanted to be. So I decided not to do it anymore. And most people wouldn't have done that.
Yep, so automatically it gives me kind of a sense as a coach, if I were to just look at you from the outside, not as Greg, is that you're not one of those guys that's just jumping in the industry, doesn't own studios, that lost their studios, that closed their studios down because they heard there's more money over here. So right now I have that kind of connection. Yeah, this guy's a little fiery. It's a little bit too much for my introvertness, but at the same time, he's fucking real. You know what I mean? So it's cool to set up your character the right way with those 4 elements right there. So now identity. Out of those 4 identities, which one are you, obviously?
I'm number 1. I'm the leader.
Awesome. All right, so the leader is the guy that just takes charge and takes, let's say, Billy from here to here. No matter what, you're going to follow me. I'm going to take you on this path. The adventurer is the person that goes out there and explores. He tests some things. He sees what's going on. He's very curious on what's going here, and he takes it back and he delivers it. The reporter is the guy that doesn't really, or the girl, that doesn't really have the knowledge to teach. So what they have to do is they have to go out and find the experts and report on them, get their knowledge and take their knowledge and transfer it to their audience and their list. The reluctant hero is someone who kind of just fell in it. It's like, I really don't want to do this. I kind of want to just stay here in my comfort zone, but I do have a message and I know it can help people. So crap, I guess I just fell into this and I have to do this role right now. So I would say I'm more the reluctant hero, where I don't want to be in front of crowds, speaking in front. I love to be behind a computer. I do like camera stuff too as well, but I don't like Facebook Lives. So I'll do set cameras like this stuff, but I don't like doing Facebook Live stuff. So storylines. Roz, what's something that you've lost and that you've redeemed?
Something that I've lost and redeemed. I've lost a lot of money. I went bankrupt. I had a business where it was in 9/11. It was in recycled paper. And when things change and you don't have the foresight to prepare, which we've prepared for this business, I had to go, basically my credit was shot for about 10 years. And I believe I've bounced back.
Yep. So that transfers right into your true role as a leader because you've done it, you've lost it, and you came back and built it even bigger. So it's, again, it gives us more of a connection of who you are and how you want to lead from the front. Us versus them. Who is us and who is them?
So us, we're the group that's here. You know, we're the ones who want to make an impact like we started out this afternoon. And we're against those who want to be a guru, who want to say, look at me, I'm cool, let me teach you what I've done, but they really don't want to teach you because then you stop paying them. I want you to eventually stop paying me because why? Because you've learned something and you can go out there and help make that impact of hitting 1 million people, of changing more lives and creating that freedom for yourself.
What was your before getting into this business and what you're after right now?
So my before was just taking the same trip that everybody has been on, you know, starting out as an independent contractor, going the management route, figuring out that that wasn't what I wanted, and then eventually deciding to take the entrepreneurial leap, jumping in full tilt, not knowing anything, starting our business. And now the after is multiple studios, multiple trainers that I'm helping to hit the million client trained and helped. And the sky's are the limit. I don't know. I'm going to see how far we can take it.
Nice. And what's one amazing discovery throughout this whole entire process that you found? You're like, I got to share this. Like, this is what I discovered.
One of the things that I discovered is that, and Samir and I talked about this, I'm not motivated by money like most. I'm motivated by freedom. I'm motivated by not going back to where I started, where I share in this video or in that post about eating ramen noodles with hot sauce and corn. I don't ever want to go back there, and I don't think anyone should have to be there. So I want to take more people from where they are so that they can stop having to be in that place and actually give them the opportunity to go where they want to.
Awesome. And the last thing is, Samir, how has this man helped change your life?
Tremendously. I mean, I'm not sleeping, you know, to now actually having some autonomy.
Yep.
And some like freedom to actually do what I want to do and also make way more than I would ever imagined to make.
Mm-hmm.
So going from like 6,000, 7,000 to 30 is a big jump.
Yep.
So absolutely. And having a team. You know, I didn't think I'd have a team or lead a team, so that's happened. So it's awesome.
Awesome. So now, this wasn't rehearsed. I just asked Roz this morning if I could just pick on him. I didn't ask him what I was going to pick on him for. I didn't tell Samir I was going to pick on him to kind of give that thing. But you could see that if we had Chris shooting that whole thing, he would be able to cut this up and show you every piece of the backstory, the character flaws, polarity, who he is, what he lost, what he redeemed, who he stands for, and who he wants to push away as before and after, everything. And it would come out to be a really, really good video. And it would give our market an idea of like, holy shit, like I know who this guy is and I relate to him, or you know what, this dude's too much right now. I think he's full of shit and it's not really the guy I want to go for. So when you guys go home tonight, I kind of challenge you, I'll even send this slide out to you so you can have the whole thing if you don't own the book or the slide or anything. Go through it. It doesn't matter how much you write. If you want this to be 7 pages, write 7 pages. But go through each piece and just write down what each piece would mean to you, because again, that will help you to figure out who you are, and then from figuring out who you are, who you can serve from there. So who wants to take that challenge? Oh, hands up.
I'm sorry.
I'll send it to you. It's the, what is it called? The
.com
Expert-
Secrets.
No, Expert Secrets.
Oh, that's in. He teaches both.
Both of them?
But yeah.
Okay. I'll send you the slides though tonight. So it's taking a stand. It's telling people what you're for and what you're against. So who wants to tell me what they're for, what they're against?
Just as a general statement, I'm very much for, I don't use the word balance because I feel like it's kind of has a different meaning, but literally where you can expand every area of your life at the same time. You know, where, and I'm against the mindset that in order to build one area, whether it be financial, your marriage has to plummet. You know, that it's okay to sacrifice years of not seeing your kids because you want to make more money. I'm absolutely against that. What I was sharing before is it sounds like a nice thought. That's why I think it's important to help people with strategy. Like, here's how you do it. You know, and it's important.
So with you stating what you stand against, does that give you any clarity of who you want to serve?
Yeah.
Who do you want to serve?
I want to serve busy entrepreneurs that
Uh-huh.
are really, you know, even like-minded like us, but they don't know the next step. They operate with a belief system that, you know, honey, I know our marriage is rocky right now. I never see you, but trust me, 10 years down from the road. And by then, the damage, the poison has usually set in. The connection's usually lost or too far gone. And it's just a matter of shifting priority. You know, my wife and my kids, I yell the word family, they all respond first. Like it's a cute way of reminding us family first philosophy. You know, for me, that's just it originates with me. It very much, I'm aligned with that.
Got
You know,
it.
where I don't, time is my biggest asset, not the money.
Mm-hmm.
But I want both. Wealth creation is a very awesome, important part as well.
Yep. Are you willing to commit to that market for the next 90 days?
100%.
Awesome. I can't wait to watch you.
Questions?
So one of the things, so like what Roz and I stand for here at MetaBurn is we're all about one-on-one personal training. We love all modalities, we love all you guys, but when it comes, push to come to shove, I will fight. I love kickboxing, and I'll tell you that personal training is the best thing that you will get, Mrs. Jones, here, because you'll get private attention, we'll be able to do your nutrition, we'll adapt the program, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't mean I love kickboxing is bad, but at the same time, we will fight our ground to make sure that people know what we stand for and what we stand against. Same thing goes for boot camps. We will fight to the death. We've told people in consultations, like, I don't believe in boot camps. Doesn't mean boot camps are bad. Doesn't mean that Mike and Lindsay aren't doing a phenomenal job. They're changing lives. But at the same time, when it comes for us marketing, we want people to clearly understand that we are not going to do big groups, very, very small groups, or one-on-one personal training so we can get through to you as a person, understand who you are, and have a deeper connection. That makes sense? So it's not that you're insulting or bad-mouthing anyone. It's just like you got to stand your ground and tell people this is what I believe in, no matter what. And then you guys can tell us, like, I believe one-on-one personal training is the biggest bullshit ever. Group training is where it's at, and this is why I do this. So cool thing is it's Ryan Lee versus Gary Vaynerchuk. Does anyone understand who they are and what they stand for, stand against? Gary Vee is all about hustle, working from 6 to 2 a.m. in the morning. Ryan Lee is all about having a lifestyle, waking up at 6, sending out an email, and going and having fun with his kids. So it's clear that they're both super successful, but they stand by what they stand for. So what are 3 things in our industry right now that people believe that you don't agree with? So let's pick on Nick.
With me, I actually almost lost my integrity on this whole if it fits your macros thing and that whole deal. I think it really needs to come down to holistic health.
Mhm.
That's the thing that helped me the most. And me, like, we can still lose weight by doing calories and all that, but if I teach that to other people, I'm not really helping them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the same thing. That's how I ended up getting so sick, was because that's sort of what I was doing. I was never focused on what was actually going into my body. I was tracking calories and protein and this and that, eating junk, supplements, all this stuff, destroyed my gut. And then I suffered for 4 years with an unexplainable rash that I was so embarrassed to go anywhere with. And it's like and this happened a couple of months ago, that I realized I was losing my integrity because I wasn't getting traction. So I said, oh, that's what people want. I'm gonna step in and maybe give them what they want. And then in the last couple of months, I said, no, I'm not doing that. I have to backtrack with my story and get back to who I am and put that out. And if people are gonna resonate with it, they'll resonate. If they're not, then I'm not the guy for them.
Yep. Have you written an article on that?
No.
Awesome. Tonight. I want you to write an article on how you almost died, how you were put in the hospital, or why IF is the biggest bullshit, and whatever language that your market will use. And I want you to write exactly what you did, how it treated you, how you got the rash, how it affected your life, and how you discovered this one thing that changed everything, and why you believe this is gonna be the holy grail. And then if this can change my life, it could change yours. Comment down below. What's the title of your gym?
Plant strength.
What's that?
Plant strength.
Say plant strength down below, and maybe we'll have a conversation, see if I can help you out.
Real quick, so one of the things I would do with that, because he said he doesn't like to write as much, he likes video.
Oh, video, there you go.
So I would framework it so that you can actually do that on video, but then send it over to rev.com, have it transcribed, because one of the things that I know, and I'll introduce Andy a little bit later, but what I do with my show is I take it and Michelle takes and creates a summary, because there are people who will watch you and there are people who will want to read. And if you miss the whole boat, because you may not utilize both and syndicate your content.
I like to write too, but when I start writing, it just goes on forever. It's
Well-
like a video, I feel like I'm
Well, you got to have a framework, because if it's like anything else, if you don't have a goal, like one of the things is like, I'm sorry to cut you in, but like you want to have, okay, this is my call to action, this is my seed, this is what I want my message, I'm going to teach these 2 points, and then this is my opening. You do that, you're going to be able to really flow. If you don't have that framework, then you can just let it go, and then people don't have time to read, anything over probably 500 to 750 words on Facebook when they're taking care of business or whatever.
Yeah. And we can show them the video flow either later tonight or tomorrow,
Yeah.
so it'll help chunk it up. It makes it much easier to do videos and stuff. So you want to polarize yourself. So obviously you have Mac versus PC. Who's a Mac fan? Cool. And who's a PC fan? With the Lifestyle Fitness Business Intensive, what we put on the sales page is if you're not making $5,000 a month or more, this is not the event for you. We can lead you in the right direction. We have some resources for you guys. It doesn't mean that if you're not making $5,000, you don't belong here, you can't come here. It just shows you like, oh crap, I'm not making 5K. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this. Or you have the guy of like, screw this, I'm not making 5K, but I'm gonna learn how to do it, and I'm gonna be there at the event. Same thing with our 12-week transformation. We tell people we want serious women. We wanna make sure that you can actually work out numerous amounts of times, not just one time a week. So when people sit down with Roz and they say like, yeah, I'm just looking to do one time a week, it's automatically, well, if you don't wanna do it our way, it's kinda really not our thing, so you can go down the block to our ex-employee and train at his boot camp, and I can guarantee you it's not gonna be fun. So you want to amplify your authenticity. So has anyone seen this movie, The Mask? Yeah. So when Jim Carrey puts the mask on, what happens?
It amplifies who he is.
Inner character. For the
Okay.
guy.
So it didn't change him.
No.
It only just took out more of him, put him on a 10 or a 12 versus him being on a 4 or 5 or so. So real quick, do you have your knife on you?
Of course.
Can I see it? Am I going to hurt myself with this demonstration?
There's a good chance.
Okay. So you have to flick it up like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like a silly little knife, right?
So,
Okay, so when you look at this knife, it's black, it's silver. To me, as an audience, I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It's just a little knife. What does this mean to you guys?
to me personally,
No, not you, to these guys, because I know what it means to you.
Weapon. I mean,
Okay, what does it mean to you?
Help with that. Oh.
Tool, a kitchen tool, or
Okay.
self-defense, or something else.
Okay, I'm gonna go slow, so I don't cut myself. What does it mean to you now?
Self-defense, security.
Okay.
weapon.
Hold this, please. Come on up front. What's a technique that you could show right now in slow motion, how you use the knife?
first thing would be the position. So once it's deployed, holding it out in front of a 90-degree angle, keeping your back hand up, protecting your throat. From there, you have a decision whether you're going to be the engager or the waiter. Engager with knife fighting means I initiate the movement and I go for it, of course. If I want to do reverse grip, I wait for the attack to come with me, and I can hook and hit vital organs pretty quick.
So if someone's coming at you and you have that knife, what does it mean to you?
I'm gonna kill them. As soon as my knife comes out, it's automatically not hurting, it's killing. You're not gonna take another breath.
And if someone would come after your wife, what would it mean to you?
I would kill them, skin them, mutilate them, and hang their body on the.
Cool. So now, what does that knife mean to you guys? Safety, protection.
Right.
No one's gonna mess with me. So you took a thing that was sitting on a shelf, opened it up, had someone behind it using it, and now it's amplified. And it's not just a tool. It's not just a knife. It's not just a weapon. It's how do I keep my life safe? So how do we take a concept like that of sitting, typing, doing videos, and how do we amplify it so people get a chance to understand who we are, what we do, what are the ways that we can get this message out there to make us better heard. Make sense? Cool. Thank you, sir. You can play. You can do whatever you want. Does anyone know who this gentleman is? Nicholas Kuzmich. He is known as the highest ROI Facebook ad guy. And the thing that's cool about him is he was an ex-pastor that now is a $3 million a year Facebook agency and just crushes it. He's a brilliant man, but as you can see here, who he is here is who he is every single day. It's very hard to find a picture of him outside of a suit or outside of his hair slicked back or his glasses off or anything like that. This is who he is day in and day out. This guy, we all know who he is, Gary Vaynerchuk. He is who he is, and he amplifies really, really well because he's everywhere and he doesn't care what you think about him. That's the other thing too, when you amplify yourself, so if someone comes to you and says, like, I don't believe in what you're doing, like, IF is the shit. Well, I don't care. I'm gonna tell you even more why you need to do this. So you can't be afraid to have your values and your beliefs challenged because it's what's gonna keep you going and putting all the noise down. So you wanna be loud and clear. So the first thing is being clear before you're loud. If you're not clear on your message and you start going loud with it, you're gonna get drowned out or you're gonna get called out. And what's gonna happen is when you get called out, you're gonna look dumb. You know, so you wanna be extremely clear on what you stand for, what you stand for against. You wanna be clear on your message. You wanna be clear on how you're delivering it. So then when you are clear, you can put it out there and be loud and noisy. As this guy, you know, he does boom a lot. And I'm like, Roz, we gotta keep it down a little bit. He's like, I don't care. Boom! And then my ears hurt. So we're gonna go
Greg,
in your packet.
tell
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
story about how we had a coach that said that I shouldn't boom.
Who's that?
You know, well, we don't need to say who it is.
Oh, okay. Because I remember that, yeah. Because he said that you were going to push women off. We want you and Greg to do videos together because some people might draw to Greg and some people might draw to you. But I think, Roz, that you're too masculine and you're too aggressive. So when you do that boom, people are going to get a little afraid of you. They probably are, but then you have women that are like, Roz, I love it, boom. Roz, I want to make you a t-shirt, boom. They're all about the boom. Now, they may not even know what the hell boom means, but they're so into it and they know what he stands for. You done? I think I say something.
No, that's it.
So in our packets, real quick, it's I think the third page. It's called the Cult Unpacker or the Culture Unpacker. So we're going to take some time just to fill this out. So instead of writing, what do you stand against? I put it as what do they stand against, meaning I want you to look from the outside into your business and, you know, what does Billy stand for? What does Samir stand for? What does Ariel stand for? What does Lindsay, Tatiana, Nick, what does Mike stand for? So the first thing we're gonna fill out as the top left is against. Just write down as fast as you can, what is everything that they or you stand against. We'll move to the next one. So what do you guys stand for? As fast as you can, whatever comes to your mind, what do you stand for? Doesn't matter if it's a word, a sentence, a paragraph, what do you stand for? Good, we're gonna go to the next one. Manifesto, what do you believe? What is a belief that you hold on to? All right, what are the mistakes that other people teach? What are mistakes that other people teach? But what do you believe is a mistake in your industry? Then we'll go to the next one and go to the truth. What do they do that goes against the grain? So what do you do that's the truth? What do you teach that you feel is no matter what, your people have to hear this? And also, you'll take pieces of this and you'll put it into your funnel and you'll put it into your Facebook ads. So next one, we'll go to language. What are their words? So what are your words that you use within your community? What are some, has anyone ever read the book, The Game? So you get the whole underground dating scene. They had all these words and acronyms that they used and they understood each other. So what are some words that you guys use within your community that everyone understands? All right, we'll go to the bottom left, us. Who's in? What clients belong here? What people belong here? Who's in my community? All right, so who's them? Who's out? People who are like this are out. I don't want them in the community. They're gonna be a virus. And last thing, bottom right is the look. So when it says what makes them visually, it's not the people, it's you. What makes you visually? What are your colors? What does your brand stand for? What do you visually look like as a company? So who would like to go ahead and share kind of from the top left to the bottom right, all the categories? Who wants to go first?
Who are they against? Just the entrepreneur that's sacrificing, family, fitness, and they're fun, and they're fulfillment to build their business because that's their paradigm. What do we stand for? It's more of a balanced life. And the concept that I'd like to share, use the word protect is funny as I'm writing it. It's protect your time like it's your child. You know, I would say that, you know, I have 3 children, but I protect my time like it's my 4th child. It's very, very important. Manifesto is what we believe. It's really that you can create your ideal life with the right mindset and strategy, and that self-love is the foundation. The mistakes that, or what do others teach, is that sacrifice equals success, that business first, and that's just the way it is. More of a stagnant mindset, if you will. The truth is that you can expand all areas of your life without sacrificing simultaneously. The language that I use with my audience would be aligned, balanced, thriving, fulfillment, productivity. Productivity is a big one because I feel a lot of the entrepreneurs I work with, they would love to have more time, but I don't think they can. So
Yep.
I teach them productivity ways, and you know, it creates more space in their time for the beautiful things. Who's in? Entrepreneurs who feel stuck and out of alignment, and they're tired of feeling stuck, and they're looking for the new path. Who's out? People who just value money more than family, which I know people like that as well.
Yep.
You know, it's, you know, family's kind of a byproduct, which is cool. And they're more of a stagnant mindset. They, you know, they value their life based on their bank account only, and that's okay. And what marks me visually, I would say, you know, I'm going with a theme of more bright colors, intelligence, peace. I know it might sound silly, but it's smiles. You know, I get a lot of feedback from my gorgeous wife about her smile, how it's infectious, it lights up every post, it lights up every page. So it's authentic, you know, so it comes across.
Awesome. Have you done something like this before?
Not in this depth, and
Okay.
I tried, but to be completely transparent, it's never flown this easy. Makes that like it was
Yep.
like this is just like I don't care about 30 seconds, it just flew.
Yep.
Like it just kept coming out, which for me it means a run. At least
Yep.
I feel.
Because we all have it in us on what we really want to stand for. It's just we're afraid, you know, it was really work. Will these A-type personality, you know, entrepreneurs, will they really attract to me when I talk about self-love and aligning with your family? Because in that world, it doesn't really exist for a lot of people, you know? And it's the point where I'm like, dude, like, I would love it. I would love to learn from you because now I understand like where he stands for, and you know, time for me is a huge thing. So if you're all about productivity and time and aligning yourself with your family and this, I'm like, I don't even care about the business. I'll learn how to do that while fixing this over here. Awesome.